Thank you for joining. Before I start, probably all of you heard about agents, but how do you actually create one? How do you make it work? And cheap and fast. So in the following 20 minutes, I'm going to show you how we created a very cool multi-agent system for building CLI apps. So before we dive into how, let's talk about why. Probably most of you familiar with CLI apps. There are extensions that you can add to your app, combine dashboard pages, backend services, HTTP endpoints, site extensions like React component to your editor, data collections, and more. And you can also use Wix SDKs like stores, ecom, bookings, blogs, and more. There are a lot of documentation that you need to read to create a CLI app. So therefore, when we build the app builder together with the Dev Center team, you can see it in this amazing AI-generated image, Online IDE, GitHub, CLI team, my team, Code AI, and Dev Machine team, and more teams, we built an app that users can generate apps with AI. For example, a review button for products on so we created a site plugin with a dashboard page, CMS collection, and a site plugin. Users can access the code, they can view it, they can change it, and they can also clone to GitHub. They can connect to GitHub, clone it, and work on it locally. And they can release the app. And they can preview the app on a dev site. And they can iterate the code and view the changes. And they can ask questions about the code and Wix. So hi, my name is Miri Volozhinsky. I'm a software engineer at the DevCore team. I joined Wix almost 3 years ago with the Wix Center program. And my journey as a developer started at the 6th grade when I built my first HTML website for cats and dogs. And today I have a cat and a dog that really likes my computer, and a donkey. So how did it all started? We started with Cloud Code SDK that connected to MCP, Bash, Edit, and Write tools. And it supported only 2 extensions. And we need 8 more extensions to support. It costs us around $4 to generate an app and more than 10 minutes to generate an app. Very expensive and very slow. So we decided to create a dedicated agent for each extension. We created it with AI SDK by Vercel, Sonnet 4.5, with a focus system prompt about the extension it's generating, scaffolding template with a path and content to make it more focused, and no tools. We generated a code object that we write it down deterministically, because writing down deterministically is much faster and less expensive. And it costs us around $0.3 to generate an entire app, and less than 1 minute. It's very amazing, very fast. So we need something that decides which extensions to trigger. So we created the blueprint agent. The blueprint agent receives a system prompt about all the extensions and GPT 5.1 model. And it generates an object with a plan of which extensions to trigger, with a description, and with a type and app name and description to the whole app. Another agent we created was the SDK picker agent. Remember, our agents don't have any tools, and we need them to create a code that uses Wix SDKs. So we created this agent that its job is to suggest for each extensions the top 10 Wix SDK docs that are relevant. And for each one of the docs, it also suggests a score and a reason. Here we used a model of 4.5 IQ and Wix MCP. Another agent we created was the planner agent. Some of the extensions as shared params, for example, a CMS collection, we need to pass a collection ID, a columns, Some of them also requires APIs or embedded script params. So we created this agent that its job is to suggest these shared params before we call the other agents. The last agent we created was the fix agent. Because of our extension agents are generating a code object, they can write a code with the type errors. So we created this agent that its job is to go over, receive a build and type check. And if there are any errors, its job is to go over it and fix the code. And also if there are missing dependencies, install it. So let's go over the end-to-end flow. We have the blueprint agent that receives a user request. We have the SDK picker agent that enrich those extensions with the relevant Wix SDK docs. We have the planner agent that suggests the shared params if needed. And then we call in parallel all the extensions agents. For example, we want to generate a dashboard page and service plugin. The blueprint will suggest it, and we will call those agents in parallel. And they will generate a code object. Then we will run a type check and build. And we will fix the type check and build if there are any errors with the fix agent and install the missing dependencies. So what about iteration? What if the user wants to change something? What if the user wants an entirely new feature or is changing the code by himself? We need an iteration plan. So we created the iteration agent that its job is to suggest something very similar to the blueprint agent, with extensions to add and current extensions to change. It has read tools to analyze the code, and it generates an object with current extensions, additional extensions, and summary. At first, we wanted to split the current extensions into extensions agents, but it causes errors because sometimes the extension agents can receive a wrong file from the iteration agent. So we decided to create another agent of the update current code agent. Its job is to update all the current extensions with the read and write tools. And regarding the new extensions, we call the extensions agents that we saw before with the same flow that we saw. So let's go over the end-to-end flow. We have the user requests and chat history. We have the iteration agent that suggests the relevant new extensions to add if needed, and current extensions to change if needed. The SDK picker agent enrich those extensions with the docs. The planner agent suggests the shared params if needed. And then for new extensions, we call the same flow of the extensions agent. And if there are any current extensions to change, we will call also the update current code extension agent. Then we write the code. And if there are any type check and build errors, we will call the fix agent that will fix them and install dependencies. So this was our design last month ago in the previous Wix engineering date. We started exploring skills because each week we have something new in the AI era. So we created skills, a Wix app skills for generating CLI apps. They are already available to public users. They're available in the Wix skills repo. And we decided that we want to use them in the CodeGen. So we decided to throw this multi-agent system away. And instead of using multi-agent, we decided to use a single agent with skills. So instead of maintaining a few agents, we now have one agent. We have less debugging to do, and much simpler architecture and easier to maintain. Also, it makes much better apps because instead of thinking in a small picture of one extension for agent, it's now thinking in a big picture of few extensions and entire app for one agent. So we started using OpenCode. It's an open source AI coding agent, free, with the Sonnet 4.6 that is not free, and a short system prompt and custom rules to make it focused about generating app, Wix MCP to get the SDK docs, and OpenCode came with the built-in tools, and we created batch read and batch write custom tools, validate app that runs type check and build, and ID generator for extensions. And also we load it with skills that I showed you before. It costs us around $0.5 in average to generate an app, and 3 minutes. We're currently working on improving that, but it's generated much better apps. So to summarize everything that I showed you today, treat the iteration as a first concern when designing a multi-agent systems, because users can change the code, they can suggest new features. The more agents you have, the more probability for errors between them. So keep it in mind and merge small agents if needed. Make sure to have a focused system prompt for each agent. More tools per agent, the slower agent will be. And prefer deterministic flows when possible, like writing a code instead of generating code with tools. Thank you. Feel free to contact me.